Hi, I'm Claudio PRC, and you are watching CSR Presents.
CSR Presents. CSR Presents.
Un episodio más de CSR Presents, este podcast de Common Sense Records en conjunto con WARP, que también se transmite en WFM en cadena nacional W Radio, con algunos de los nombres y personajes más interesantes del techno y del underground a nivel mundial. Estoy con Claudio PRC, un DJ y productor italiano, buen amigo, la segunda vez que visita nuestro país y la segunda vez que toca en una de nuestras fiestas mental. Claudio, gracias por estar aquí. It's an honor to have you, my friend.
Hola, Alejandro. Thank you so much for having me here, and I'm very happy to be here and to be back for second time here in Mexico. And yes.
So your second time in Mexico, your second time playing also in our party mental. And I have to tell you, when I was trying to figure out which sound I wanted for this party, your music was immediately on my head. So you're part of that story.
Yeah. Basically, it was already a long time ago. Let's say it was before the pandemic, no? One of the first mental parties, no? So yeah, I was very excited to be back and very grateful for this invitation again.
How did you start into music, Claudio? I mean, you're from Italy. I would love to tell you, from you to tell the audience, where did you born and how was your life and how you got into the music?
So I came from a very small town from Sardinia. Sardinia is one of the islands from Italy. My hometown is very small. It's like 10,000 people big. And then let's say that I've always been surrounded by music because my father used to be also a DJ in the 80s. So I was always been surrounded by records in my home, by turntables, and so music always been part of my life, let's say. Then the passion for DJ becomes stronger time by time when I first started to go in the clubs, and then I was in the high school at the time, and then I was very fascinated by the figure of the DJ. And the first time that I saw the DJ playing in the club, I immediately wanted to be in that position, let's say. So I start immediately to collect records, to try to find my sound, to create, let's say, my kind of vibe, no?
Mm-hmm. And then it's easy to say it, but it's a long way. I mean, if you had music in your house with your father DJing, that's a good part. I mean, that's not something that is very common to have as a reference. But then it could be also a challenge because of that to find your own way, no?
Yeah, of course. It's a process. It requires a lot of time, and also, you know, when we are young, we still don't have so much focus. The idea of what we really want to follow, you know, sound-wise in terms of style and music. So definitely is a process that takes time. Now I'm already almost 20 years since I started. I started in the early 2000. Like first gig that I play officially in clubs was in 2005, let's say. And yeah, now after all this time, of course, I still have to improve. It's always a process that is never ending. It's always a process to create my own style and my own vision. That's most important is to have like a point that I'm focusing into a point, which is always to create something better and better, you know.
And then you decided to move to Berlin.
Yeah.
Like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Before that, you were somewhere else besides Italy, or
no?
How was the story?
I always stay in Sardinia, but from the small town I moved in the capital, which is Cagliari. Cagliari is the biggest city of the island. It's like 200,000 people. So, and also the place where all the cultural life is going on, let's say. And then, of course, was a bit difficult to stay there for growing in terms for traveling, get, let's say, bigger, no? And then in one point, of course, I decided to move, and the most logical place where to move was Berlin, which is the capital of the music in the last more than 20 years.
Of course. And then, Berlin was very different 10 years ago, and it's very different year by year. But I think it helped you a lot to open your music and your possibilities also as an artist to the world.
Yeah, of course, was really important, really fundamental for my growth and for what I did in the last 10 years. Because, of course, in Berlin, as I said before, being the capital of electronic music, of techno music in the world, it's very easy to catch up with artists, with promoters, with bookers. So it's much more easy and faster, the process to grow up.
And then, when did you started producing music? Because it's also very interesting. I love your tracks. I played a lot of them through the years. But it's something really special because you can do different stuff from your production when you are DJing. You can go all the way to that kind of sound, but you can go to different other angles in the same universe, in the same neighborhood, but visiting different houses, let's say it like that. So how was the process? I mean, because first it's a creative process, and then you have to take some decisions for the dance floor.
Yeah, sure. I start, as I said already, I start, as I said, as DJ first. And then, of course, I got this need also to create my own production. I think that was a kind of inevitable process to reach a point that I started to produce my music, of course. And which is, of course, completely linked on is related on the music that I used to play in the clubs. And then for me, I have to be honest, it's not that easy even to play my music in the DJ set. So I try to find a way that the music that I play during my DJ set reflects also a lot of my production. So I try to keep the same mood, the same sounds, the same vibe in general, let's say.
And also, I know that you are very open. I think probably this is because of your context with your father. You're very open to maybe do some ambient set, or maybe do some house set, or something different. And it's sometimes it's rare that a DJ specialized on a sound gives himself those permissions. But for you, I imagine the boundaries are there, but are there also to cross them?
Yeah, of course, definitely. The boundaries must be crossed, no? And also one of the most important experience in my life was that I also studied in the conservatory, and I studied electronic music and new technology in Sardinia, the Conservatory of Cagliari, and that helped me. That experience helped me to have a more open vision about electronic music, and then also to create something that is not only related on a style, like that could be only techno, but also that includes like ambient, electroacoustic, or experimental music.
That's amazing. That's interesting because I think that also gives you a lot of perspective, no? Even when you're producing, or when you are taking decisions in a long set, etc. That opens the mind.
Sure. For me, it's really, for the music that I do and that I play also, there are two really important parts, which are the part which is related to the rhythm and to the groove, which is the techno, let's say, which is the engine of, let's say, about my style. And then there is the ambient part and the atmospheric part, which goes to compensate the other side, and then in the way to create something special and something that involving and interesting, more interesting for people and for listeners.
And back home, how was the scene, the electronic music scene? Besides your father playing music, but then when you were growing up, how was the scene in Sardinia, in Calgary, in general in Italy? Because I know electronic music is important in Italy, but it's also very specific depending where, no?
Sardinia is an island, so let's say it's a kind of limited by its borders because it's an island. So we are surrounded by the sea, and but Sardinia always been a place about innovation regarding electronic music. In the past, there used to be so many clubs and so many promoters inviting a lot of international artists in my hometown and also in different towns in the island. So let's say that Sardinia always been kind of open-minded regarding electronic music scene, and then I had the opportunity to make so many experience playing beside international artists there, and then to make let's say my background there.
And are you well known now in at home? Do you play very often there or not?
Yeah, no, it's one of the most important thing for me to go back home to play often, as much as I can.
Yeah, of course. And how has it been for you? All the changes in the last few years with techno and with this moment of popular techno. Like sometimes we have talked in the same podcast, like we should not call it necessarily techno, but how has it been for you?
For me, let's say that I always act in the field of underground techno music. So for me, it doesn't affect so much this popularity that techno music got in the last years, let's say, because anyway, I always played and I always be related in a kind of underground music scene of techno. Of course, now techno became much more popular, but I'm still operating always in this underground music scene. So I can see anyway, for what regards me, that I'm very well connected in many underground electronic music scene in worldwide, like also here in Mexico, for example.
And also, I think the political and social moments that we're living right now in the world makes you and makes us go back to the real purpose of being part of or pushing an underground movement. No?
Sure. For me, the most important thing about music and about techno and arts in general is the meaning about what we are doing. Not just because we want to show up or because we want to just to appear and being someone. It's just a matter of being artist and be kind of servant of the art. So I put myself as a servant of the art, and I want to do this for the people, for the people and listeners, the people that are into the techno scene or in the electronic music scene, and I do just because of that, let's say, and not to follow some trends or whatever.
Finally, I would love to know a bit about your dynamics between traveling, playing as a DJ, and also producing music, and also thinking probably what's next, collaborations, etc. How do you manage the time and the effort and even the energy? Are you always trying to find spaces and time for producing, or you doing traveling? Is everything happening in your studio? How is it for you?
I dedicate all the time of my life to this, to everything, like from making music to search music for the DJ set, also for the label, and to travel as well. And then for me, it's a kind of natural thing to do all of this that you say, and it's just a matter of dedication. And I'm very passionate, so the passion is what let me do everything. I could not say. I mean, I can be also bit like sick, you know, like of this, because every day I think about this. Every day I think about music and about production, about records. I spend so much time digging to search new music for the DJ sets, and also to find new artists and to promote them as much as I can, as well as I got myself when I was starting, you know. Now also want to spend time to push also newcomers and new artists, which is the most important thing also, and kind of mission, you know?
That's amazing, Claudio. Thanks a lot for being here. I really enjoyed these days together.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Eating, having some wine.
Yeah.
And also visiting the pyramids, actually.
Yeah.
And comparing our own cultures.
Yeah, definitely.
That are very similar, actually.
Yeah. I'm so happy to be here, and also to have this experience together. It was super nice, and also to find the similarities in our culture is so beautiful. So it means that we are all connected, and we are only one thing, no?
I totally agree with you. I can't wait for the third time that you're coming here. And thanks a lot for being here on the show.
Thank you so much, Alejandro. See you next time.
Las conversaciones que definen lo más relevante de la historia y la cultura del techno. CSR Presents. CSR Presents. Una producción de WARP y Common Sense Records.